everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lovelyn and I make videos about career, lifestyle, parenting, basically a plethora of things, as well as a little bit of video games sprinkled here and there. If you like what you see, and I hope you do, please like and subscribe. So for today's video, if you follow me on Instagram, which I'll include my handle down below as well as on the screen, I posted last week about career and how I did my career change, why I did it. And so I got some questions and I thought we'd answer it. In fact, I'm actually taking a break from work, and so it's a perfect time to answer some questions while I'm taking a break in between meetings. All right. So first question, I have it on my phone, is what do you do? Well, I work for a big tech corporate company, and I actually work for Amazon. I am a recruiting coordinator, and that basically means I am the middleman between the sourcers, recruiters that go out and look for candidates, and then I go and set up the interviews between them and the hiring team. So I kind of do all the back end stuff with scheduling, and I email the candidates schedules and email. Sometimes there's a lot of back and forth with interviewers, but it's a lot of fun because it could still help people find jobs, and also I get to interact with people within the company. So it's a really fun, great job. Also do a little bit of project management, which is kind of started within the last few months. I'm helping pilot a new program that we're doing, and it's more than just scheduling interviews and stuff, and I like that. And yeah, that's basically what I do in a nutshell. If you want more detail, when next time I film a work from home day vlog, just for the day, let me know down below, and I can go into detail about exactly more of the stuff that I do. Okay, next question. I'm Filipino and I'm scared to tell my parents that I don't want to be a doctor/nurse. How did you do it? Well, actually, for those that don't know, let's kind of backtrack a little bit about my background. I am Filipino American. Both my parents are from the Philippines. I grew up here in America. And I can understand this question because being Filipino, it's hard to kind of go against, what your parents want for you, especially if you're a first generation Filipino and your parents came here to create a new life for their family. And so I can understand why the pressure of going into, whether it's the medical field or engineering is another big one, popular one, because, it guarantees you a good career and good job security. Now, for me, growing up, my parents, were typical, medical field is the best route. And I honestly believed at the time, all through high school, even college, that I wanted to be a nurse. I had no doubts in my mind. It was what I really wanted to do. Did my parents kind of influence my opinion about becoming a nurse? Yes, I'm pretty sure they did. But at the time I didn't know it, and so I did it. I went to school to be a nurse, and I worked for a nurse. In fact, I worked for a nurse for about 7 years. And then I took a break. And the reason why I took a break is because I got married and I had kids. I did work for a couple years with my 2 oldest kids when they were little, and it was difficult. And so luckily my husband, he works a really good job, and so we were able financially for me to be a stay-at-home mom for a while. So that is what happened. I became a stay-at-home mom. That time, I started to think about, okay, my kids are getting to the point about, when they get older, I have to start thinking about what I want to do. Do I want to go back, into the career, into the nursing field. I mean, there's so much things I could do with that degree. I could either work in a clinic or go to a hospital or go back to what I used to do, which was I was a skilled nurse, and I worked in a skilled nursing facility. But at the time, I started to get anxiety. And this was the point in my life where I started to realize that I needed, I guess I was getting so much anxiety that I just didn't want to be a nurse. I just realized right then and there I was unhappy. And I talked to a lot of friends about it that are nurses, and they said, "Oh, why don't you try just a different department? It could just be, a different field that you were interested in, and then it could." And honestly, I just didn't want to do anything medical, nothing. Like I just wanted to cut it out. I was unhappy. In fact, like when I used to work as a nurse, I would cry all the way to work, having panic attacks in the car driving to work, and had to calm myself down before I walked through the door. And that's why I always was at work early, because I needed that buffering time between driving and the crying and the anxiety before I stepped in and put on my work face and just did my job and left. So by the time I decided to go to business school and that realized that it was something that I really wanted to do, I was already old and married. Sorry, I guess I went on a tangent, but basically, I didn't really have to tell my parents because I was already older. I was married, and basically it was just between me and my husband. I did tell my parents, but I honestly didn't care what they had to say. I mean, like, it wouldn't affect me because I was already like in my 30s, and I had two sisters that were also in the business world, and they basically made more money than I did. And I think that kind of also helped them realize that, oh yeah, a business degree isn't a joke. You could actually make good money out of it. And I think also my parents kind of realized that, I was older, and so they just supported me. I mean, they have their opinions about it. Sometimes, they say things, but I know that no matter what, they'll support me. Um, but yeah, I can understand because it is hard when you come from an Asian family and the pressure. But all I can say is do what makes you happy, and hopefully your parents will realize that, like, you're an adult, and what's important is that, you do something that you love. So why the career change? That's the next question. Well, as I said before, I realized when I was working as a nurse, I just hated it. I loved the patient contact and knowing that, I'm helping this patient have a better life, and I'm, help and what's the word? It's very fulfilling. But was my heart into it? No. Like I hated it. Like I just hate anything that has to do with the medical field. Now I love to learn about it because I'm such a big school nerd, and I believe in like learning for the rest of your life. But working as a nurse, I just didn't like it. And so I realized I wanted to go to business school. So I went to business school. I got my degree in human resource management, and then also a master's degree in management and leadership, which I haven't finished yet, but I do plan on finishing that because I think I only have like 4 more months left to finish. Do you make more money now or as a nurse? Well, because I'm new to the business field, and as a recruiting coordinator, you don't really make like the 100, like 3-figure salary. I'm just starting out, so it's almost like I'm starting from the bottom. So no, I did make a lot of money when I was a nurse. However, money to me means nothing if I am miserable and I am like not, it's just not worth it, in my opinion. Some people can probably suck it up and do it, work, make money because they love money so much. But honestly, for me, it's not worth it. It is not worth it at all. Now, I do have to say though, I do still have my nursing license. It is still active in the state of Washington. So I do always have that as a backup career to fall back on for emergencies. But I would rather do 100 other things than go back to nursing. It's just really, I really applaud the people out there that really truly love that career, because we need more of those people. As we know, there's a shortage, but I just can't go back to that career. Was changing careers hard? It was. It wasn't hard because I had to go back to school. And it was something that also I talked with my husband about, and we kind of went back and forth because we were like, well, all of that money I spent on nursing is out the drain. It's an investment. You know, your education is an investment, and it kind of just went whoosh, it's gone, you know? But at the end of the day, my husband realized, you know, like, he let me be happy. And that's why I'm so grateful for him all the time, every day. For the opportunity to pursue what I really love to do. How did I manage school with little kids? I actually found a school that is 100% online, and I went through Western Governors University, which was the best thing ever. If you are a self-learner, then it's the best thing, because it was all self-paced. You had mentors that were with you every step of the way. It was, I honestly don't understand brick and mortar colleges, and what's the point? You're paying so much more money going to a physical school than going online. And I think if you are a self-learner, then go to the online route, because especially for parents that stay at home, and and you're thinking about your future after your kids grow up, it's the best thing. I mean, they have different types of degrees you can go through, and it was the best experience ever. In fact, I was getting my master's through them as well. Okay, how long were you a nurse? I said that earlier. I was a nurse for 7 years. And this one, it has nothing to do with career. But what province from the Philippines are your parents, and do you speak Tagalog? My parents, my dad is from Cavite, and my mom is from Pampanga. And I can say Tagalog. I can say a few Tagalog words, and if I have to say, speak in Tagalog in the Philippines, I can. I won't sound pretty, but I can, but I understand it 100% and fluently. I understand it. I also understand fluently Pampangan, which is the native tongue in Pampanga. So Tagalog is like the national language, but each province, depending on where you're from, has another language that they speak. So yeah, so I can understand fully too. And I know a few words in Pampanga. I can probably say a sentence or two, but it won't sound nice. Is your husband supportive? My husband is very, very supportive. He is my biggest cheerleader in the world. I love him to death. Favorite Filipino food? Favorite Filipino food will have to be kare-kare, which is a delicious, like, oxtail stew with like a peanut butter based like soup. And it sounds weird, but it is so good. It's my favorite. Um, Also, most of the food that my mom cooks is delicious. So, yeah. And then last question is, any other future career goals? Actually, I have a lot. In fact, I have content creation, so YouTube. and also Twitch, where I stream video games. I did used to have a blog where I would write up stuff about like my mental health journey and all that stuff. If you guys want to know about my mental health journey, please comment below and we can go into that in another video. But yeah, I have a lot of career plans. I have some plans in my 9 to 5 job at Amazon that I want to do, especially, and then also with YouTube. YouTube is like something that I actually, just digital content creation in general is just something that helps me creatively and helps my brain flow. So I love it. So there's a lot of things that I want to do, and it excites me, and I think that's what's important in life, is to find something that you love to do and are happy about. And that's it for career questions. If you have any other further questions, please leave them down below, and or DM me on Instagram, and maybe I can do a part 2 of this video. But if, again, thank you again for coming along. And if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.